Steiner allowed to just head at that ball without a challenge, and then the driven shot! What a goal!
Ouch! Oh, Paul Pogba should have won the Ballon d'Or. I'm going to tell you why and when he should have won the Ballon d'Or. Okay, cast your minds back. Around about 2010, 2011, a young Paul Pogba was absolutely tearing it up in Manchester United's academy. A lot of people saying he should and is soon going to be challenging for a first team spot in the great Sir Alex Ferguson's side, who was, as we all know, back then absolutely smashing everything. Now he did, and he broke into it, and every single Manchester United fan was saying the same thing. Pogba is ready for the first team. But Sir Alex Ferguson said no. Why? Because Sir Alex Ferguson had a certain Mr. Paul Scholes in that very position. Now, you can't really argue with the man when he says Paul Scholes has got that place ahead of someone like Paul Pogba. Just coming through from the academy, obviously you'd expect him to wait, but Paul Pogba wanted more game time. Fergie wasn't willing to give it to him, and then came that big moment, a massive moment that sent shockwaves through all of Manchester United fan base when Juventus came in and took Paul Pogba on a free transfer. It was 2012, Paul Pogba walked out onto the pitch in Serie A, making his debut for Juventus. He never looked back. Absolutely destroyed it over in Serie A, winning 9 trophies in his first 4 seasons in Serie A with Juventus. Juventus fans absolutely taking to him. He became a fan favourite instantly, winning 4 straight Italian championships, 2 Super Cups and 3 Italian Cups, all while still at the young age, just breaking through into first team football for the first time. Buffon, the famous Italian goalkeeper, legend of Italian football in fact, was saying, who was playing in the Juventus side at the time, how the hell did Juventus manage to get this player for free from Manchester United? What was Sir Alex Ferguson thinking? Paul Pogba was playing the football of his career and put him right up there with everybody in his position at the time in world football in fact. Pogba was at the peak of his powers. He was winning everything in Italy. He was idolised by everyone in the Juventus shirt, from the fan base to the coaches to the manager at the time. But the lure and the possibility of coming back to Manchester United was staring him right in the face. He could not resist the opportunity in 2016 to return to Manchester United for what was then a record transfer fee of €105 million. Pogba signed for United in 2016 under a resurgent Manchester United, who had been going through a bad spell, but with Jose Mourinho at the helm, Jose making him one of his first signings for Manchester United alongside Henrik Mkhitaryan, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba. It was thought that this was going to be the turning point for Manchester United. And it did prove to be that way, bringing in 2 more trophies in his first season back at Manchester United, helping them win the League Cup, scoring in that very final. Paul Pogba absolutely brilliant, performing to the levels he was at Juventus. And of course, the big one, helping Manchester United, scoring in that final also for Jose Mourinho's side when they beat Ajax to win the Europa League and get back into the Champions League. Pogba's second season at Manchester United, this is where that Ballon d'Or should have been coming to Paul Pogba. This is the time of his career when he should have been looking at winning the biggest honour as a player in world football. Yes, you've got your Messis, you've got your Ronaldos that were always there at this time, but Paul Pogba at this stage, and what was seen to be the way to win a Ballon d'Or, winning club trophies, winning the biggest trophies for your country, and in 2017-18, helping Manchester United and Jose Mourinho not win a trophy in that season, but get second in that league, which is probably Manchester United's still their highest points tally and highest finished in the Premier League post the great Sir Alex Ferguson. Pogba at the forefront of that. He then went on to the summer with France and the World Cup 2018. This was Paul Pogba's moment. Pogba not only was the figurehead, not only was the leader, videos leaked out of Paul Pogba in the changing rooms, driving his teammates on, bigging them up to a point where they felt invincible, going out on that pitch, and they got to the final and it was set. The stage was there. Paul Pogba, bang, scores in another final, but this time the World Cup final for France. The biggest honour in any player's career. Pogba lifting that trophy at this stage of Paul Pogba's career. Only at that early age, in his early 20s, had already lifted 13 major trophies in all club and country competitions, the World Cup being the last one of that 13. Absolutely brilliant performance throughout the World Cup, massive accolades. Pogba should have been moving on from that point and securing the Ballon d'Or in that year. 2018-19 should have been Paul Pogba's year, and that's when he should have been picking up the Ballon d'Or. Pogba now 25. Most people in world football thought the world was at his feet. This was going to be Pogba's era, taking over in football, winning everything that he had won, everything behind him, ready to go under Jose Mourinho and a revitalised Manchester United side. It went the complete opposite way. Everybody in world football was shocked at what happened next with Paul Pogba. A public argument that was filmed and recorded from Manchester United's training ground, a rift between manager Jose Mourinho and Paul Pogba, and it continued onto the pitch. Manchester United's performances fell off. Jose Mourinho was fired. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, former Manchester United player, was brought in. Uncertain times at Manchester United followed. Jose Mourinho had gone, saying that Paul Pogba had too much of an ego. Winning that World Cup was the worst thing that could have happened for Paul Pogba, Jose Mourinho said. He was the charismatic one and wanted to be at the forefront of everything. A clash of egos, many people said, and Jose Mourinho paid for it with his job. Paul Pogba served under another 3 managers, and his form suffered for it. Manchester United were falling away, they were falling behind the likes of Manchester City, and the gap was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Problems with fans and Pogba's relationships with them was growing as a player FC culture was seen to be the problem at Manchester United. And Pogba, amongst a lot of the fan base, was at the forefront of that. The ego trip, the man that had won everything, now thinking that he was the one running the show at Manchester United. That's what a lot of fans were thinking. He turned up when he wanted to, and it was inevitable when Paul Pogba again had the opportunity to leave Manchester United. Under Ralf Rangnick, his last season at Manchester United, the opportunity to go back to Juventus was there again on another free transfer. How did Manchester United mess this up? Losing Pogba twice and having to pay €105 million for him in between. But it was done. Paul Pogba's time at Manchester United was officially over, and he left the football club in 2022 to go back to Juventus and try and revive his whole football career. Pogba moving back to Juventus looked like the best move for everybody. All football writers, everyone in football thought this was where Pogba was going to revive his career again. The place that he called home, the place where he played his best football in his career. Juventus welcomed him back with open arms instantly, and everyone thought, that's it, Pogba moves on from here, closes that book on Manchester United and starts playing the football that we all know Pogba can play again, that brilliant midfielder. But sadly, again, injuries blighted his time at Juventus and the return, and Pogba's form suffered with it. He spent more time on the treatment table at Juventus than he did actually on the pitch in his first season back. But this wasn't the biggest downside in Paul Pogba's career. There was something even bigger to come. Pogba's life on and off the pitch was about to hit an all-time low. Mino Raiola, his agent throughout his career, a father figure in Paul Pogba's words in his life, passed away sadly, unexpectedly, all of a sudden. And then after that, an even bigger bombshell. Paul Pogba banned from football for doping for 4 years. Paul Pogba always fighting his innocence, always claiming that it was wrong. He didn't intentionally take performance-enhancing drugs, but this was just a career coming to a crashing halt. Paul Pogba, the man that had the world at his feet, now banned from football and what looks like the end of his career completely. He battled and battled his name through the courts and has had that ban now reduced to 18 months. Paul Pogba can come back and play football in March 2025. Pogba will be at the age of 32 at that time. Can he salvage anything in his career? This is a career that had everything. And who would have thought Paul Pogba, with everything that was going on, when he was just 24, had won everything near enough in football? And that World Cup trophy lifting moments, that big moment in his career, was the last trophy that the man would ever lift. Was Paul Pogba's career a career wasted? Could he have done even better than what he has achieved already, which is a lot? There are not many players out there that can say they have won as many major trophies as Paul Pogba has in his career, but should he have had more? That's the question. I want you guys to get into the comment section below and tell me, should Pogba have won the Ballon d'Or? Should he have won more in his career, in fact? Was it one of the all-time wasted talents in world football?